Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Rimville 86. Today, I thought we'd just have some fun and run through some Unigine benchmarks tests. If you've never heard of Unigine, it is an engine used to design games. It's a lot of fun. They do some really amazing demo work. So it's really cool. If you have suggestions on different benchmarks I should run through or different neat little things I should try, be sure to comment below. But without further ado, let's get started and have some fun. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my camera so I'm not in the way. So I'm going to go ahead and set this first one to run DirectX 11 on shaders high, and I don't know how you say that, Entostrop, Sotropy, Enostrop. Anyway, if you know how to pronounce that, comment below for pronunciation. Turned on the anti-aliasing 8 times, full screen, 1080p. Let's go. All right, so it looks like it did pretty well, 138 frames per second. As you can see here, it's an i7 2600. Yeah, that's not the actual clock speed. So I'll show you that here in just. Oops, I broke it. Anyway, I'll show you that here in just a second. But 3.4 gigahertz is not the correct clock speed. I have mine unlocked. Anyway, um, yeah, that's just weird. Anyway, it's a 670 with 2 gigs of RAM. We did DirectX 11, 1080p, full screen anti-aliasing. All the setters or all the shaders and textures set to high. So pretty good. I like that one. That one's pretty amazing to watch. Yeah, we're not going to save this, so let's go ahead and move to the next one here. Let me go ahead and quit out of this one. Credits to all these guys. They made an amazing engine. So it's really cool. If you're a game maker and you need an engine like Unreal or any of the rest of them, Unigine's a pretty good pick. They make some amazing looking content, so you should check them out. I guess they make an engine, not content, but you know what I meant. There, very close right there. So that was Sanctuary, one of Unigine's demos for their engine. Let's try out Tropics. It's another one they have. We're going to do DirectX 11, shaders set to high, anti-aliasing all the way, and let's give it a quick run. All right, awesome. So that one went pretty well. We got 73 frames per second average. Once again, same CPU, 2600 at 3.4, which is not accurate. I'll show you why here in a minute. But anyway, um, we got that 670, 2 gigs RAM, all the settings on high. Everything went pretty good. I like this one. This one's pretty neat to watch. I'd say it's, if I had to guess, I would say this is probably PlayStation 3, early PlayStation 4 kind of graphics. So it looks amazing. All right, let's go ahead and quit out of here. Hopefully this one actually quits. Sweet. All right. So real quick before I start the next one, I want to show you why it's not accurate, because I have my overclocking enabled. So I was hitting 4.2 gigahertz at one point. Not necessarily on these demos, but some of the later ones when I was testing out, I hit 4.2 gigahertz completely maxed out. So, but we'll get to that later. All right. So the next one is Valley. Uh, Fair warning, this one it drops down into the 30s, so there may be a little jerkiness here and there. We're going to do it on Extreme HD, which has got your DX11, Ultra, Anti-Aliasing 8, and 1080p full screen. All right, here we go. All right. And why did it switch on me? There it is. Okay. So this one's a lot more taxing, as you can tell, at 35.6 frames per second. Once again, that 2600 at the wrong, registered at the wrong clock speed. And that GTX 670 with 2 gigs of RAM. So overall, I think it did pretty well. For some reason, when I watch this, and all I can ever think about is being either a wood elf or wood nymph hunting down humans, jumping through trees and just having a good old time. I don't know. It's just me. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Kudos to these guys. They made an amazing demo there. All right. A fair warning with this one. I did have to create a custom setting because if I set it to extreme, it defaults to 1600 by 900, and that is not the native resolution for my monitors. So we're going to do a custom with DirectX 11, Ultra, Extreme Tessellation. I do have 2 monitors, but we're not doing 2 monitors. We're doing a single monitor, and we're going to go full screen at the tried and true 1080p. Now, fair warning before I launch this one does get a little glitchy, stuttery, because this one at times does max out what my system's capable of. All right, and this one we didn't do too bad on either. It was about 30 frames per second. I'm sure you noticed some glitching and tearing and all kinds of things as this one went, because this one is pushing the limits of what my system is capable of, mainly because of the video RAM. So if I had a 4 gig card, this would actually run a lot better. Even the same processor, if I had the 4 gig version or the 3 gig version, it would run a lot better because there's more video RAM to cram these intense graphics on. So, but all in all, looked pretty good from what I could see. Kudos to the Unigine guys for making another amazing demo. Let's go ahead and quit out of here and we'll move on to the last one. All right, for the last one, this one's Superposition. This is their current newest generation benchmark and is actually on the Unigine 2 engine. So it's a little, or it's actually quite a bit different. There's a lot more graphics they can pack in there. So, with that being said, unfortunately, I can't do 8K, 4K, and I can't even do 1080p extreme or high because of the VRAM requirements. If I try to run it, it runs at a measly 5 to 8 frames per second, and it's completely unwatchable and unenjoyable. So, I'm going to go ahead and set it to medium settings because that's the best my system can handle for this test. And we'll give it a run and let it see what happens. Here we go. There's our results. So we did an average frame rate of 35 frames per second on medium settings with GPU maxed out. It hit 80 degrees Celsius, so the hottest one yet. So as you can see below, the speeds are still wrong, and I will once again show you that. So here we go. My CPU ratio is set to 42 at 100 megahertz, so that's 4.2 gigahertz versus the 3.4 it's showing here. But that's honestly, that is just configured to make up for all the microcode fixes that Intel had to do. So I figure why not. Anyway, that was on medium setting, medium textures. Once again, an amazing visual representation of the Unigine engine. I personally really enjoy it. I think they make some excellent demos, so kudos to the guys over at Unigine. Anyway, back on topic here. Oh, click the wrong button. All right, so that was 5 different Unigine engines, 5 different benchmarks running on a processor that was released, I want to say in 2010, maybe 2011. So 10, 11-year-old processor. And the graphics card's probably about the same era, maybe a little bit newer. But yeah, that kind of gives you an ideal of if you buy good hardware when it's out, a lot of times you can get use out of it for a good long while. Now, that's not to say that I can play every modern game on my machine. A lot of them now require more processor than my machine can muster, as well as a lot of them now require more graphics card, especially graphics memory than my old G4 670 GK 104 can handle. That is a Kepler card. I want to say, I'm probably wrong, but I want to say it came out in like 2011, 2012-ish era, maybe a little bit before that. I'm not really sure. But regardless, it's been an excellent card for me. It works great, does everything that I need to, plays most of the games I need to play except for Cyberpunk 2077. I don't think it's going to have enough to handle that at more than maybe 720p at best, which is, it's a little saddening that I won't be able to play it at 1080p and ultra settings with everything going, everything enabled, and all the exciting things happening, but we're going to see. That's a future video that's coming, so stay tuned for that. If you have suggestions of benchmarks that you want me to run on my old machine, see how it handles it, be sure to comment down below. Outside of that, if you liked what you saw, like. If you thought these demos were amazing, head over to unigine.com, check them out. They, once again, they make an amazing engine that looks fantastic. So I put them right up there on par with the best engines in the world. So you should really check them out, especially if you're doing development. They may be able to accommodate your needs without hopefully without breaking the bank too bad. I mean, every engine costs money, so don't expect it for free. But anyway, that concludes this video. If you like what you saw, like. Don't forget to subscribe for future content coming soon. And leave a comment below of what you'd like to see in future videos. This is just 5 demos I had laying around. I figured I'd give them a try, see how they work. They did pretty well, in my opinion, all except for the last one. And that one is due to CPU limitation. Even at 4.2 gigahertz, my CPU was completely maxed out. And in the video, you'll see all that jerkiness. That's not the actual render, that's the computer being unable to keep up to process the recording. So it's dropping frames on the recording instead of the render. There's not much I can do about that. But it gives you perspective of how powerful these engines are. They're powerful. They're powerful. They're good. I really like them. I think they're visually stunning. So I don't have any complaints. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good night.